I talk a lot of the time of what I mean cornerstones of this company, and I talked about it a little bit in my own speeches of people we needed for this company, and sometimes I just don't ever hit it on the mark. I never really congratulate people, and that's just how it's been all my life. So I didn't feel that if I was congratulated, nobody else I need to say thank you to, or not so much thank you, but good job. It's just kind of expected, and that's not a way to look at it. I made a mistake um, doing it. So uh, this was filmed on 126. I don't know when I'm gonna upload it. I gotta find the right time. But I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of people that made NCPW great, and some of these people aren't, or at least one of these people aren't here anymore. Slade started out with his. As much as I did not like Slade, or have not liked Slade, the last couple of months and last year, um, Slade was really what kicked this off. I offered it to him when he was kind of on nothing going on, and I honestly, it was more of a storyline move as to a real thing. My goal was to shoot out Reggie, taking out his windows, and Slade was the perfect component. Somebody who was easy to trick into um, getting into seeing my way. He was also very frustrated with his position, and I took advantage of it. Does that make me a bad person? No. I told him when I said I left that I was going to shut his company down and I was going to burn it down to the ground. Even before Seth Rollins said burn it down, I was the one I said I was going to burn it down and sit on the ledge of a building just like the Joker and watch the world burn. And he didn't believe me. And look at where we are now, the Wednesday Night War. Uh, Slade was a valid part of what we did. Maybe towards the beginning, but at the end, no. Let's get to Katie. Katie is my best friend. I think everybody knows that. But let me tell you, it means so much to me. Um, that kind of thing right there. Katie was such a valid part in helping me develop my skills. Um, he really was not even a coach. He just was somebody I could lean on to not only see my way, but also talk about it. And it's just an incredible thing to be able to have somebody that would do that for you. He's an incredible guy. He's a man of few words, but when he does get into it, he's really excited about what he does, and he's got a great, like I said, that's the reason he's the co-owner, and his future here is always bright. Let's talk about Deadly. Deadly is the coolest guy that I know. He started my career in SCW, and I would have to say that he was a big part of the reason that I ended up making my own. Um, I thought that I wasn't coming back. So I said, I almost confirmed that I wasn't going to wait around. Things were getting hasty between me and Reggie already. So I thought it was best that I, don't bring that kind of stuff up. And for some reason, he had this thing that he was doing about firing everybody and starting over. And he didn't understand that, he thought everybody thought take it as a joke and then just restart. And he messed up. So his best friend, I stole out from under him. I came out to Deadly, said, "Hey, give me a chance." And Deadly wasn't a part of it. And then just one day, random phone call came. I think it was right after Wednesday Night Mayhem. Daniel Cage was a part of us. Talking about he was coming to NCPW. And I was never more ecstatic for that moment. We were in a rough spot for stars, and getting Aaron Greed, CJ Angel, the biggest star to ever set foot in our company, was something special. He's a really incredible friend, an incredible man, I know, and I respect him highly. His opinions are are impeccable. His drive is incredible. Something special. So I'm so happy I got to work with him on the daily. And pretty incredible dude. Now we get to my favorite person, who never got to step foot in the GMF office, but incredible dude, Tanner. He was interesting for some reasons. Tanner was never a guy who was going to become a GM or a guy that was that. Tanner brought the morale. He was just something about him that brought morale. That guy was the most dedicated guy that would come around every single week. Whether that be 2 or 3 hours early. The guy was just impeccable at what he did. And, people dogged me for letting him stay. And, I never listened to him because there was something about Tanner that I saw in myself, which I've never shared that with anyone. There was something about that I felt that was in myself. The drive was what I saw in myself. As young as he was when I knew him, when he was 12, 13 years old, and same to when he developed when he was 16. So I basically saw him go from being a child to being a teenager. So that was kind of a cool moment to be able to experience with him. Everybody used to give me flack for hanging out with him, and I would never say a word. He was my dude. I was really good friends with him, and I'm still good friends with him. And I know he's busy at his job and everything, so sometimes we don't get to hang out as much. So you just gotta suck it up, and I really hope we can. I want another to work with him in the future. Might be coming time where he gets a GM position sometime in the future. But yeah, as for what's going to happen next, I don't know. Who knows? I'm really excited to be able to talk about them. But Tanner was just somebody special who I loved working with, talking with. He's one of my friends. And as for my final congratulations of being a cornerstone piece, is Shadow. Shadow was an interesting character. He was actually the first one to call me when I got fired. Which I thought was kind of weird. He had heard about my situation, and he called me for some reason. Randomly just called me and asked me what was going on. Never really had talked to him a whole bunch. Just knew who he was, and kind of just all started from there. From being a GM to being a sole superstar of mine, putting on fantastic matches. That's what Shadow did. So he was a part of my cornerstone set. But anyway, guys, you learned a little bit about the Wednesday Night War, how we capitalized, and I'm sure I'm going to make more episodes, but I thought this was a good piece. Thanks.